Have you ever been in a moment where you explained everything with perfect logic, yet people still brushed it aside? I used to believe that earning respect meant defending every sentence like it was a battle to be won. I thought the louder and firmer I spoke, the more seriously I'd be taken. But one day, during a tense meeting, something happened that shifted everything for me. I raised my voice. The room went quiet, but not because they respected what I was saying. They were simply waiting for me to finish. That silence wasn't authority. It was discomfort. And in that moment, I realized something I had never seen before. True power doesn't come from volume. It comes from presence, from calmness, from words chosen so carefully that they land without force. The truth is, you don't need to raise your voice to earn respect. You need to raise your clarity. And when you learn how to do that, people start responding to you differently at work, at home, and even in the smallest daily interactions. Today, I want to share 5 phrases that, when used at the right moment, make people truly listen. Phrases that communicate quiet strength, the kind of strength that can still a room without saying much at all. Stay until the end, because the third phrase completely transformed how I deal with conflict. Epictetus once said that it's not what happens to us that defines us, but how we choose to respond. The Stoics believed self-control was the highest form of power. They understood that when you master your words, you master the situation itself. I didn't learn this easily. I've lost my temper, spoken too quickly, and regretted my reactions more times than I'd like to admit. But over time, I noticed a clear pattern. Every time I spoke from emotion, I lost respect. Every time I spoke from reason, I gained it. The difference between those moments was only a few seconds. The pause before speaking. And inside that pause lives the core of Stoic wisdom. The first phrase is simple but powerful. I see your point, but I disagree. I remember the first time I used it. I was dealing with someone who always tried to dominate conversations. In the past, I would argue, explain myself endlessly, and walk away drained. That day, I listened, paused, and calmly said those words. The energy in the room shifted, not because I proved anything, but because I showed restraint. This phrase signals that you're attentive, composed, and not easily pushed. You acknowledge without surrendering. You respond instead of reacting. By recognizing their perspective, you remove their need to keep pressing, and by stating your disagreement calmly, you assert independence without aggression. The second phrase is, I don't find that appropriate. I learned this one through regret. There was a time when someone made a disrespectful remark toward a colleague, and I stayed silent to avoid conflict. Later, I realized silence often sounds like agreement. From that moment on, I decided to protect my values calmly. The next time it happened, I said those words, nothing more. No anger, no explanation, and it was enough. As Seneca said, those who respect themselves invite respect from others. This phrase draws a clear boundary without drama. You don't justify your discomfort. You simply state your standard. The third phrase is the most powerful. Let's continue this when we can speak respectfully. I used it once in an emotional argument with someone close to me. I could feel my heart racing, my ego wanting the last word. But instead, I stopped, said that sentence, and walked away. It wasn't easy, but it was transformative. Walking away isn't weakness, it's mastery. You're not avoiding the issue, you're defining the conditions. This phrase shifts attention from the argument to behavior, and it immediately disarms hostility. The fourth phrase is, I'd rather not continue this conversation. Not every discussion deserves your energy. I spent years trying to convince people who had no interest in understanding. One day, I chose peace instead. I said those words and stepped away. The calm that followed taught me I don't owe everyone access to my emotional space. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is not to become like the one who wronged you. This phrase isn't cold, it's clear. And once people realize your attention isn't guaranteed, they treat it with respect. The fifth and final phrase is balance in its purest form. I respect your opinion, but I don't share it. I used to agree just to keep harmony, but that only made me invisible. The first time I said this calmly, the other person paused, then nodded. People recognize confidence when it's quiet. This phrase allows you to remain polite without betraying your beliefs. You acknowledge their view, but you honor your own. That balance is what earns genuine respect. These 5 phrases don't just change how others respond to you. They change how you see yourself. They are tools of self-mastery. In a world that rewards noise, calmness is revolutionary. Respect is never demanded, it's inspired. And it begins with how you speak, how you pause, and how you choose silence. Remember this, a storm cannot move a mountain. You don't need to shout to be strong. You only need to stand firm, steady, and clear. Now, if you want to watch more videos in the future, show me some love by hit the subscribe and like the video